ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, dear.
Excuse
Good
me, ma'am.
evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Very good evening.
Excuse me,
Very,
ma'am.
very, very good. Yes, yes. Who wants to ask?
Ma'am, last class you teach parts of the flower.
Yeah. What happened?
Ma'am, I didn't understand that.
Okay.
Me
Earlier
too.
it was given as board 5, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was actually board 4. There was a clash. That's right. Two classes happening at the same board. That was the problem. Okay. Fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. There was a confusion. That's right. No problem. Okay. Everybody, switch on your video. Please switch on your video. Ananda Krishnan, Vinayak, Arjun, Anthony, Ismail, Devaganga. Switch on fast. Okay. Now, did you go through the portion?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what
Yes,
were we
ma'am.
discussing about?
We
We
were
were
discussing
talking
about
about art
Parts of a
flower.
flower. Yes, parts of a flower. So, shall we move on to the topic now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So share the PPT. I hope you can see. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
sir.
Okay. Now, this is the sample picture of the different parts of a flower. We have already seen this in the video, right?
Yes.
Yes, we saw the sepals first, the green leafy structure, sepals. Then we had the colored part of a flower. What is it called?
Petals.
Petals. Yes, petals.
Petals.
Then we had the male reproductive part as well as the female reproductive part. What was the male reproductive part called?
Ma'am, Stamens.
Stamens. Yes, very good. And the female reproductive part, it was called the
Pistil.
Pistil. Yeah, we have almost studied this. That's the only topic we have. We just have to discuss a little bit more about each part. Shall we move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
First one is the sepal. So in the picture itself, you can see the small bud. Which plant do you think it is? Which flower is it?
Ma'am, Rose.
Rose. Yes, it is the red rose. Rather. Yes. So what are sepals? Now, whatever I explain in class, you write it in your own words. Whatever you understand from the class, you write it in your own words in the lecture note. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
When I
ma'am.
send over the notes to you, you can copy down the exact words from this. Understood? Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that when you sit for studying, you can use your lecture note as well as the original notes. Because original notes contain the exact words, the scientific terms and all. And the lecture notes has an explanation from your own side. Because it's your own language so that you can understand it easier. Yes? Can you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, fine. Now the sepals, they are the small green leaf-like structures seen at the base of the flowers. What are sepals? Small green leaf-like structures
Leaf-like
seen at the base
structures
of
Seen
the
at the base of the flowers are called sepals.
sepals. Yes. So 3 points you have to note about the sepal, the structure. They are small, they are green, they are leaf-like. Small, they are green, they are leaf-like. Please mute everyone. There's noises in between. Please mute.
Somebody
Everyone.
speaking and your voice has got.
Yeah. Somebody is talking outside. Who's that? Ismail. Ismail, is that you? Ismail. Ismail Suhaim. Just a minute. Fine. So what is the sepal again? Sanaika, tell me what is the sepal?
Small green leaf-like structure seen at the base of the flower are called sepal. It protects the flower during the bud stage.
Yes, that is the
Ma'am, can you tell me
function of
what's a
the
bud?
sepal. Yes, please.
What do you mean? Ma'am, it protects the flower during the bud stage. Ma'am, what is bud stage?
Yeah, I'm going to explain. It protects the flower during the bud stage. That is the function of a sepal. That are the function of the number of sepals that we have in a flower. They protect the flower when it is at the or during the bud
When it is a
stage.
bud.
Yeah, when it is a bud. The flower, the first stage, it is a bud, right? Then only it blooms. Yes or
Yes,
no?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah, you told me that this is the bud of a rose plant. This is a yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
So after a few hours or after a few days, what happens to this bud? This
It
will
will
grow into a
bloom.
proper
Ma'am,
pink flower, a
ma'am,
red rose, right?
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, it will
Yes.
bloom.
So when it is in the bud stage, when it is a small bud or a small baby flower, you can call
Ma'am,
it
it
a
needs
baby flower.
protection.
Yeah, it helps in the sepals help in the protection of this bud. Understood? So
Yes,
again,
ma'am.
when the flower is moving from the bud stage to the flower stage, during the bud stage, the sepals protect the what
Flower.
flower when it is in the bud stage, or rather you can write the sepals protects the bud as such. Okay,
Okay,
fine,
ma'am.
understood. Any doubt? Any other doubt?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Now, which is the second part that we are going to learn? You might know.
Ma'am, the
Petals.
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 Yes, very good. So, soft colored parts found above the sepals are called petals. So, where are the petals found? They are found just above the
About the
sepal.
sepals.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Smriti?
Ma'am, mostly all the parts of the flower has a specific function. So, does the petal have any function like that? Like, I have not heard that it has a
Yes, yes,
specific
it has a
function.
function. It is, in the definition you can see it is soft, it is colored, and in the video we saw it has pigments. That is why it has colors, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and this helps to attract the bees and all. Attract the small insects and the bees, and it helps in the reproduction of the plant.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, when if you go out wearing a very bright colored dress, will you be the center of attraction?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So similarly, the flower, petals in a flower uh, is for the same purpose actually. Okay. They helps to attract the bees, the other insects that helps in the pollination or helps in the further reproduction of the plant. Yes, understood? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the petals, the soft colored parts found above the sepals are called petals. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. That's a very simple topic, I know. And then we have stamen. What was stamens? The male reproductive part of a flower is called stamen. It's not main, it's not MAIN, it is male, MALE, male. The male reproductive part of a flower, it is called stamens. And the stamens, again, we are learning about the parts of a flower, but again, some parts of a flower has even more parts. Two among them is the stamens and the pistil. The stamen has, as you can see in the picture, please look at the screen and then you can write. Please look at the screen, everyone. Please look at the screen. Sanaika, Smriti, please look at the screen. Yes, here you can see, I'll give you time to write. Just look at the screen and explain and I'll give you time. Yes, here you can see there is a stem-like structure or a stalk-like structure for the stamen, green color. Yes, yes. That is called the filament of the stamens. What is it called? The
Filament.
filament.
Filament
Filament of
of the
the
stamen.
stamen. Yes, and it has a head-like structure. What is it called? The anther.
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 So this is just a sample of a stamen. Okay, different flowers, just like there are different shapes and different colors or different varieties of flowers, you have different shapes, different structures, and different color for the stamens also. Okay, in different flowers you can see the stamen in different ways or different shapes, and the anther might differ, the anther shape might differ, all those things might differ, but this is the basic structure of a stamen. Understood? So
Yes.
the stamen, it has a filament and an anther. Remember that. Okay, now you can write down.
Ma'am,
I did not understand where is the stamen located.
Okay, I'll show the picture. You write it down, I show the big picture and then you can see.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can one flower have both stamen,
Yes,
both
yes, yes.
stamen and pistil?
Pistil together, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, they can. They can have.
Okay, ma'am.
We can have both the
ma'am,
stamens and pistil together.
ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, stamen inside the flower or outside the flower?
Stamen inside the flower or outside the flower? Is
Yes,
that what
ma'am.
you're asking? Yes,
Yes,
most of
ma'am.
the stamens you can see it. I'll show the picture once more. If you have finished writing, let me know. I'll show the picture once more.
Okay.
Are all flowers containing a stamen and a pistil?
Ah, what you have to notice, uh, I can't explain the whole of it, but I'm telling this: the pistil, the stamen, the sepals, the petals. Hmm? These four things we already learned. We already learned the names and the basic functions. So not all flowering plants have these structures. You have to note that. Okay, it's not necessary that you find all the parts that you learned in a particular flower. There are some plants which do not have these some of the structures. Okay, Devika. Okay, yes. So the male reproductive part of a flower, it is called stamens, and it has a filament as well as an anther.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, the first statement, right? The male reproductive part of a flower is called stamens.
Yes.
Ma'am, can it be written like the male part of a flower which helps in reproduction?
Yes, that's also possible. This is a very simple way, no? The male reproductive part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ma'am, but
Which one, if you, whichever one you find it simpler or more appealing to you, you can use it. Fine.
okay, ma'am.
Yes, I just made it simpler and wrote it so that you can understand it easily. That's all. Stamens finished. Shall we move on
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
pistil? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Next one is pistil. The female reproductive part of a flower is called pistil. Okay, the female reproductive part of a flower is called pistil. Namaste, switch on your video, please, dear. I can't see you. Who else haven't switched it on? Sebastian, Ananda Krishnan, Anthony, Devaganga, Abhinav. They are the names that I call every day, I think.
Ma'am,
Malavika.
a boy named Sebastian is not in our class. Sebastian. Ma'am.
Sebastian is not in our class.
Yes,
Sebastian
ma'am.
is there. I can see him. Sebastian
Ma'am,
Armstrong.
yes, ma'am. He he's not in our class, but sometimes he'll be here.
Oh, okay, fine. Yes. So the female reproductive part of a flower is called pistil. And yeah. And here in this picture, can you see the picture on the right side?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yeah. Please listen. Please look at the screen. Here, what was the stalk-like structure of the stamens called?
Ma'am, the structure is filament.
Filament. Yes,
Filament.
filament. Everybody, please listen. Ashish,
Yes, ma'am.
listen. Please listen. This is very important, or else you'll confuse. That's why I'm telling. Okay. So the stamens had the what? Filament.
Filament.
Stalk like or the stem, small stem like thin thread like structure. Now here the pistil has a style instead of a filament. What is it called? A style.
Style.
Style is also again a thread like structure. Both these stamens and pistils, they are very small. Okay, the picture is
Okay,
very
ma'am.
zoomed and it is enlarged so that you can understand the parts. It is very small when you compare it with the flower. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
The stalk-like structure or the thread-like structure of a pistil, it is called the style, and the what the stamens had an anther,
And
just like the head, right? Like just
Yes,
like the
ma'am.
head part. So
Ma'am,
the
like the head of a pin.
the pistil has a stigma instead of it. What is it? Stigma.
Stigma.
It has a very sticky surface. That is why it is called stigma.
Ma'am,
I
the
mean, that
sticky
not might be the exact reason why it is called like that, but you can connect it and learn. It has a very sticky surface, and so you can connect it with the name stigma. It is not stigma, it is stigma. Stigma.
Okay, ma'am.
okay, ma'am.
Stigma. Stigma. Okay. So the two main parts you learned about a pistil is style, then stigma. Then you have a swollen part at the lower part. Can you see that?
Ma'am,
Yes,
style.
ma'am.
Yes, a swollen part, and that is called the ovary. What is it called? Ovary.
Ovary.
Ovary. And
Ovary.
you have two pistils given here. On the right side, you can see a cross section. That is the pistil is being cut from the center. And then you can see the inside part. Do you see some bead-like structures? The beads you
Ma'am.
make use of to make a chain and all.
Small circle.
Yeah, we have small circular bead-like structures. They are called ovules. What are they called?
Ovules.
Ovules.
Lies
Ovule, ovules.
Ovules.
Okay,
Ma'am,
there are so
ovules.
many ovules present inside this, right? There
Ma'am,
are
ovules.
6 of them. Yeah, and another important information. This ovary finally becomes the fruit, the pulp of the fruit, and this ovule, they become the seed of the fruit.
Ma'am, they become seeds when it is fertilized.
Yes, the ovule becomes the seed and the ovary becomes the fruit. The ovules
ma'am.
are present inside the ovary, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when you consider an apple, the fruit pulp, the pulpy part of the fruit is there, and inside you have small seeds. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes. So the pulpy part that is formed from the ovary, and the small seeds, they are formed from the ovule.
Ovule.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? Yes. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now you can write down. The female reproductive part of a flower is called pistil. Then a swollen base of the pistil, it is called the ovary. Then the small bead-like structures inside the ovary are called ovules. Are called ovules. Ovules. Now you can also write the pistil also has a style and a stigma.
Style and stigma.
Style is the thread-like structure of a pistil, and stigma is the sticky surface on the top. Style is the thread-like structure of a pistil. The thread-like structure of a pistil, and stigma is the sticky surface on the top of a pistil, on the top part of the pistil.
And can you repeat what's style?
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Style
can you
is
show the slide?
Yeah, just a minute, dear. Style is the thread-like structure of a pistil.
Ma'am, your video is off.
I know. And then stigma is the what is it, stigma?
Sticky
part
Part on the top of the pistil, on the top part of the pistil.
Ma'am,
Yes,
can you say style and sigma once more?
yes, I'll show you. 1 minute. Yes. You want to see the slides, right?
No, ma'am, I'm asking about style and sigma. Can you say once
I
more?
can't hear you. What are you
Ma'am,
telling?
she's
Ma'am,
asking
can you say
about
about style and sigma once more?
Style and stigma once more. Yes, I can say. Yeah. The thread-like structure of the pistil, it is called
style.
style. The thread-like structure of the pistil is called style.
Ma'am, the
Thread-like.
like structure is called.
Yeah, Smriti, can you help me?
Yes, ma'am.
What is a stigma?
Ma'am, the sticky bead-like structure on the top of the pistil is called stigma.
Yes, the sticky surface on the top
On
of
the
the
top of the pistil.
pistil. It is called stigma. So basically we say stigma, style and ovary. That are the basic parts. And inside the ovary, you have the ovules.
Ovules.
Ma'am, style means like the yellow colored thing when we touch it like a powderish.
No.
Ma'am, like
That is the the anther. The anther in a stamen that has small powder like or small grainy things. They are called pollen grains.
Pollen.
You can note that.
okay.
Pollen grains. POLLEN. Pollen grains.
Ma'am, pollen grains get transferred to pistils
Pistil stigma.
through insects and birds.
Yeah,
Ma'am.
the insects come and sit. I'll show you the picture once you finish writing pollen grains.
Ma'am, can you repeat stigma?
Yes, I can repeat stigma. Stigma is the sticky surface
On the top of the pistil.
on the top part of the pistil. On the top part of the pistil.
Ma'am,
Thank you.
Ma'am, can you tell about style?
Style.
Thread-like structure of a pistil is known as
Thread-like
style.
structure of a pistil. Very good. The thread-like structure of a pistil, it is called the style.
Style.
And the sticky surface on the top part of the pistil, it is called stigma. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Thank
I'll
you.
show you a picture. Any more doubts, guys?
Can you say pollen?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you say pollen grains?
Pollen grains, yeah. The pollen grains, they are the small grainy parts found in the
Ma'am, on the
Found in the-
anther of
found in
stem.
the anther of a stamen. Small grain-like structures or grainy particles found in the anther of a stamen. The anther of a stamen. Okay?
Yes.
Got the idea?
ma'am.
Yes. Now I'll show you one picture. Can you see?
No, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you see the hibiscus flower all around?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I don't know if I can show this. Oh, yeah. See this picture on the right side?
Yes, ma'am.
Bigger one? Yes. In that, you can see the small yellow like things,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
There are too many structures. Those are the stamens. Okay. So you can see a red colored stamen, right? Red colored
Yes,
stamen
Yes,
with
ma'am.
an anther head, which is yellow in color. And you can see one on the top part, you have some velvet like structure, red colored.
Yes, ma'am.
There are some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structures there. That is the, what is that?
And the pistil.
Yeah, the pistils. The head is called the stigma, and the stalk like or the thread like structure, what is it called?
It is called style.
Style. Yes. And in hibiscus, the anther and stigma that is fused together. Smriti, you asked me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. In this particular flower, they are fused together. I'll show you some other picture where there are markings on this. Yeah. See this? So, the filament, the anther, and the yellow dust that you see when you do when you touch the yellow part, you can see some yellow dust on your hand, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
These
ma'am.
are the pollen grains. Okay, they are very small, the pollen grains. So what happens is the insects, all those insects will come and sit because of the attraction, because of they are attracted to the color or the nectar in the flower. Then the insects come and sit on these
And the
flowers.
pollens get transferred.
Yeah, and the pollens, they'll stick on to the legs of the insects.
Insects.
Now
And
what
when the
happens
insects,
is the insects might
when the
go and
insects
sit
fly
on
into
another
a
flower.
female flower, these pollens, the sticky stigma, it like the pollens get stuck to the stigma.
Yeah. What happens is the stigma has a very sticky surface, right? So again, the pollens will go and fall on the sticky stigma. It will get stuck there. Okay. And then it will go, there is a very long process again. It will go through the tube. It will reach the ovules. The fertilization takes place. Then reproduction takes place. That's a very complex process which we learn in the higher classes. Okay.
Okay.
Do you understand about the basic structure of a flower?
Yes, ma'am.
That's more than it.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have some other information also, right? You have got some
ma'am.
other informations also. No problem. So did you understand what where the stigma, style and ovary, all that is?
Yes, ma'am.
Lisa, did you understand it now? The location?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we'll see the other structure which we the other flower which we saw in the PPT.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. See.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, in the hibiscus plant, like it has both stigma and stamen, right?
Stigma and
Both stigma, yes, sorry.
Stamen
Both
and
pistil and stamen, right?
yes.
Ma'am, so how, like, does the flower itself transfers the pollen to the pistil?
Yeah, most of the time what happens is they require the agents like the insects or wind or humans, like the small children. They might
Yes, ma'am.
come and shake the, what happens, shake the stamens in it. Then again, automatically it might fall on the stigma, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, insects might come. And from their small feet or legs, the pollen grains might fall on the stigma of the hibiscus again. Otherwise, wind might come.
Okay,
Because
ma'am.
of the wind, the pollen grains might flow and fall on the stigma of the flowers, of the same flower or on the stigma of other flowers also. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Risa, please look at this picture. Can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
see the stamen and the pistil?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the in the center you have something similar to the inside of a lemon or an apple, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That is the ovary. Ovary, and that particular yellow
I'm
structure,
like a
that is the
capsicum.
stigma. On top you can see the stigma, and the stalk like or the thread like structure, it is called the style. And at the end you have, at end of the pistil you have the swollen part which is called the ovary, and inside of the swollen you have bead like structures called ovules. Now on the right and left side of the pistil you can see small stamens also. They have an orange colored and a green colored filament. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all about our class. Any doubt, dear ones?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
All clear?
Ma'am.
Parts of
Yes,
the
ma'am.
clear?
Ma'am.
Yes. Fine.
Ma'am, you have a picture of a flower with both stamen and pistil.
Yeah, show it. Show it fast because it's almost time to stop.
Ma'am, she's
Yeah, see that? Can you see?
yes,
Yes, ma'am.
So I hope you all have understood. If you have any hibiscus plant or any other flowers around, any other big flower, you can choose a big flower. You can go and observe the stamen, the pistil, the small pollen grains, the how the petals are, where the sepals are located and all. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
we'll meet
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
next class next day. Fine.
Ma'am.
Thank
Write
you,
the
ma'am.
questions and
Thank you,
be
ma'am.
prepared. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.